My name is Sharon Carlson. I'm the president of the Kalamazoo Ladies Library Association, and I want to welcome you to this lovely day, this lovely event that we are so pleased to be sponsoring today. The LLA they organized in 1852, and it is the oldest women's club in Michigan and the second oldest in the United States, only behind a group out of Jacksonville, Illinois. The organization sponsored Kalamazoo's first subscription-based library for 2 decades before the public library came into existence. And the books that you'll see on the first floor, those are some of the books that were from that circulating library. So if you're wondering what Kalamazooans read in the 1850s, 60s, and 70s, you can look at our bookshelves, and that will give you a sense. The clubhouse that we're in, we have occupied this since 1879 when it was dedicated. The Ladies Library Association planned. They worked with an architect and did the fundraising to construct this beautiful building. We are the oldest cultural institution in the city, and our 151 members range in age from 19 to 101. Today's concert introduces the Ginkgo Salon to a Kalamazoo audience for the first time. The Ginkgo Salon features Ann Lemke and Amanda Sabelhaus. We are especially pleased to have 2 musicians with such long and distinguished records of performances in the U.S. and abroad. Their complete biographies are included on the program. Ann and Amanda perform together. They also perform with other ensembles. Both have performed with symphony orchestras and prestigious festivals in the U.S. and abroad. Both teach privately, as well as they have institutional affiliations with well-respected music programs. Ann is at Cranbrook, Amanda is at Oakland University. In many ways, I think their careers probably have some resemblance to that of Margery Selden. And for those of you who don't know who Margery Selden is or was, you'll find out a little bit more about her today. Of course, this program would not have been possible without the support of our sponsors. The Peregrine Huff Foundation, the Radisson, Absolute Home Care, Sons of Norway, Southwest Michigan Dermatology, and Thompson Tutoring. Please help me in thanking them. So, without further ado, I wish to introduce to you Ann Lemke and Amanda Sabelhaus, the Ginkgo Salon.
Thank you, and welcome to our Salon Recital. There is really nowhere where Amanda and I would rather be to celebrate International Women's Day than right here in this special building that was built, owned, and financed by women, the first building in the nation to be owned by women. This place has an amazing history, and it's an honor to be here with you today. So we are celebrating Salon Recital, and you may ask, what is a salon? In the 19th century, it was a gathering of musicians, artists, writers, and intellectuals in an elegant private home. The salon was an important part of the musical life of cities like Berlin and Paris. A lot of music making took place in private homes with a gathering of invited guests, not just in concert halls and opera houses. Women could meet people at salon gatherings. It might be considered 19th century networking event with a cultural emphasis. They could launch careers through successful salon performances. Some of the women composers on our program knew one another from salon gatherings. At a time when women were discouraged from publishing and performing in public, the salon was a place where women's creativity could thrive. This beautiful building was envisioned by women as a place to promote women's education and creativity and celebrate women's achievements. So it's an ideal space for our salon. The historic Steinway that Amanda is playing today dates from 1870 and was designed for salon concerts, according to the piano technician who evaluated it last week. just heard Fear Not, I Am With You, a beautiful poem and hymn composed by Margery Stomne Selden. This is a special year because on September 5th, we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Margery Selden's birth. She was born in Chicago in 1925 and grew up in New Jersey. She studied music at Vassar and completed a PhD in music at Yale. She married and had 4 children. She was a pianist, piano teacher, composer, church organist, and choir director. She was also a professor of music at Wayne State University and at some smaller universities. In her later years as a widow, she lived in the Kalamazoo area. She taught music appreciation and piano. One friend of hers who I just met at intermission recalls that she made trips to Madagascar to do Lutheran missionary work. All 4 of her grandparents were Norwegian, and she was proud of her Norwegian heritage. She was an active member of the Sons of Norway Askeladden Lodge and gave many musical programs there. We are very grateful for their support and sponsorship today. It was fascinating for me to learn that Margery Selden gave lecture recitals on women composers. She invited people to her home on Sunday afternoons for piano parties. In other words, like the 19th century women, she also had a musical salon. A friend recalls that she delighted in hosting a dozen or so guests seated in folding chairs around her ornately carved grand piano at her home in Portage. She died at age 97 in 2022, and she did not want to have an obituary or a memorial. Today, we honor her legacy by playing her music and remembering her remarkable life. I'm grateful to Sharon Carlson for researching Margery Selden's life and creating a timeline. Elizabeth Kratz gathered memories from people who knew her, and Karen Woodward, who knew her personally, sent us hymns that Margery had composed and given permission to use. Karen also put me in touch with Margery's son, Paul Selden, who lives in Kalamazoo. He's unable to be with us today because he's traveling abroad. He wrote, "We are thrilled and honored to learn that my late mother's works are to be performed on March 9 at the Ladies Library Association as part of the International Women's Day Salon Recital. She loved to perform and educate. I was lucky to have her for my mother. Many thanks for all the trouble you are going to keep her memory alive." Amanda and I found Margery Selden's music to be extraordinarily beautiful and are excited to share a medley of 4 of her hymns with you. This is a world premiere. She wrote the poetry as well as the music to her hymns. The words are very appropriate today, especially the hymn Peace Among Earth's Peoples, and we wanted you to be able to think of her words as we play her music. During our medley, you can follow along in your program. We will be playing 2 stanzas of each song. You can hear the transition from one song to the next when the piano plays a brief interlude. Then the oboe d'amore introduces the new melody. It was a joy to play this music and create this medley with Amanda Sabelhaus, who has a real gift for improvisation. We both grew up singing and playing hymns, so putting together this medley came naturally.